We're going to move to the third segment of this meeting, the confession story time. So we have a situation here, guys, and this is not the norm. For persons who are acquainted with our meeting setups, typically we have confessions from persons of things that they've done in the past. However, this is a bit of a reverse. So in January 15, 2022, this person posted, "If you ask me, I'm the best drunk driver ever." This is how it started. This did not age well. The end of January, well, towards the end, the 21st of January 2022, while the cop pulled me over and he said, "I'm doing 110 in a 50 zone." Cool? Cool. Let's keep it going. It gets better. So Shorty killed 3 people drunk driving, and y'all want people to feel bad for her because she's black? Dog, I'm crying. They need to hit her with the super max contract for all the foolishness, for all the foo-foo people that want to support her, basically. And that's a picture of the same person that made those tweets back in early January and late January. Basically, come to find out,
driven off. Wearing the handcuffs of the 2 Pennsylvania state troopers she's alleged to have run down and killed, Jayana Tene Webb of Eagleville is walked out of Troop K in Philadelphia to a state police SUV.
Did you drink that night?
The 21-year-old is charged with multiple felony counts of murder in the 3rd degree, homicide by motor vehicle while under the influence, and manslaughter in the alleged killing of state troopers Martin Mack, Brandon Siska, and a pedestrian at 1 in the morning Monday on I-95 South near the stadiums. State police say Trooper Mack, 33 years old, and 29-year-old Trooper Siska were called to 95 for a report of a man walking in the left lane southbound as they were trying to get 28-year-old Reyes Rivera Oliveras of Allentown to the safety of their vehicle. Webb is alleged to have struck them.
A vehicle traveling at a high rate of speed in the left lane in between the Jersey barrier.
all right, guys. So normally, as I said, this segment, you usually have just random confessions. However, we saw tweets back in January of this person posting publicly as if it's a prize, as if it's something to boast about her drunk driving, and she's the best drunk driver. You know, unfortunately, present day, we have the situation where her drunk driving skills clearly did not make the cut because they killed 2 persons, 2 state troopers. Now, what are your thoughts on this situation, this confession from this person? Do you think that more should have been done in terms of raising awareness when she made those first 2 tweets? Do you think that these tweets, show these confessions, should add to her sentence to show that she has confessed to doing this before? It's not her first time. What do you think should happen? Do you think she should go to prison alone? Do you think she should have to pay compensation to the person's family members? Let me hear your thoughts. What are your thoughts on this situation with a person that confesses to doing something illegal and then it goes terribly wrong? Let's hear from you guys. All right, go ahead, Burton. Go ahead.
Right. I definitely think she should go to jail for that. Like, no questions asked. And it makes me very angry to see people like that, because you can definitely, kind of see where their headspace is at. Like, the world revolves around me. As long as I'm fine, that's okay. And, those types of people don't really care about how their actions affect others. So that's very disheartening. And in these types of situations, it's very tricky to say what punishment is justified, because she took the lives of innocent people, and no fine or no amount of money or time that she pays to compensate can bring those people back, So I definitely feel like in this instance, this is why I think capital punishment should exist, because she seems like a very narcissistic person.
Thank you very much for sharing. What do you guys think about them bringing her race into it to say we should feel sorry for her because she's black? Do you think this has anything to do with her race whatsoever?
So while I don't think this incident has anything to do with race, I can kind of see how that discussion, came into play. I'm not justifying anything that she did, right? It's bad. No excuses for it. But when you look at white people, I'm pretty sure there's a white girl her age who has killed more people or is doing like worse things but are going completely unnoticed by law enforcement. So when you really look at that, yes, she is guilty, but when you look at the amount of um white people who go unnoticed for their crimes in comparison to black people who get called out and sometimes even overcharged for minor crimes or no crime at all. I get why people bring race into it, but I just don't think it's the right case specifically to use that argument.
All right, go ahead, Monique. Let's hear from you.
I was just thinking about the race thing, and I was like, well, she black, so she should have known better. Sorry, race not really have to do it right now, but
You care to elaborate? No better in what regard?
Alright, we both know that no matter which crime you do, when you're overseas and you're black, it's gonna be 100 times worse. White person do it and then get caught, 2-3 years, probably less. A black person, 10. That's how they work in overseas. I've seen it. I've seen a lot of cases. I've watched them. I was like, oh my. Same crime. Only thing one person is black and the other is white.
I guess you can say same crime, different time.
Exactly. So she's black. She should have known better. She knows that our enemies wouldn't be a good thing. So she should have known better. Since them are user race, yeah, she black, so she should have known better.
So based on this caption, it says she killed 2 state troopers and pedestrian. So it seems as if there are 3 persons involved in this accident that died at her hands. But what about her friends? What about her friends that like saw her tweets? Like, what do you think? Like persons who saw her tweets, who were friends with her, do you think they should have, held her responsible in some way?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. No, them should have probably try help her out of the situation, seeing the fact that them did she go somewhere. Not a nice place, but should I go somewhere?
Help her out in what sense? Apart from telling her that what she tweeted was foolishness, or tell her that she can't drink and drive.
But from what I'm getting, I'm guessing her friends might be just like her, where boosts are open to do funny stuff.
We got corrections in the comment section where we're knowing that she killed 3 persons and she injured 9 others. Wow. At the same time, do you think when she got to court, her lawyer could bargain that she was not in the right mental state and perhaps she's been dealing with issues, hence the drunk driving so frequently? What do you guys think?
Well, that's the point, but the court will say she should go ahead and she should seek help in other ways. Yeah, so that the court not gonna buy that and the jury not gonna buy that.
Are you sure? Is it because some of the persons that have died are white? Do you think she'll face like extra time because she killed 2 state troopers? Like not to say that other persons, their life won't hold the same weight, but we know how these things work. You think she's like looking at never being released again?
Never been released again.
Yep.
She gonna get life. I'm not think no kill her.
No, them not kill her, but she'll get life in prison.
Do you think when she goes to prison, like they'll victimize her, like perhaps the wardens there?
That's a possibility.
No, for drunk driving.
Not even drunk driving, repeated drunk driving that you publicly speak about in such a way as if you just said, oh, I just went shopping, as if it's totally okay and justified. I'm the best drunk driver ever. What? That's something to brag about?
We were having a conversation recently, a friend and I, it's around the same thing about what you post on social media and what the law enforcement, I guess they are not monitoring social media. So for instance, if you check particularly TikTok, a lot of these young men, like some of the things that them post, when the client call me and then bust a dance to the client, or you see them have a some money wrapped up in elastic over the side and say when the client this, when the client that. And those, well, they are posting it. We're not saying that they're scammers or whatever, but chances are they are scammers. So if the government or the police force was monitoring spaces like that and was able to track down that individual, to allow that individual to prove that where he or she is getting those funds from, that could contribute in also stemming the scamming activity, because them out there no one do not care about it anymore all over social media. So we're having a conversation about something similar in terms of what you post and then something like that.
Okay. Well, guys, thank you for sharing, Vaughn, and thank you for everyone that participated in tonight's discussion.